Hey guys, it's Cal from the Lighting Doctor here. I hope you guys are going to enjoy this consultation series. We're going to give you all kinds of tips and tricks for effectively and properly lighting up your home. So if you want to get your free consultation, just shoot me an email at cal@lightingdoctor.ca. Send me a few pictures and we'll give you a video presentation of what lights are going to work best with your property, or go and visit us at lightingdoctor.ca or go check out all our videos on YouTube.
Hey Matthew, really appreciate you reaching out to us and sending in the pictures here. Yeah, I'd love to give you some ideas. I love doing houses like this with lighting. Anytime you've got the nice white finish on the house, you always get way more bang for your buck out of the landscape lights, because you get more reflective light and different things like that. So I do love that, and I think it's going to be a pretty simple design. And just looking at some of this area here, I'm just trying to orientate myself a little bit to where some of this stuff is, and I think I got her figured now. So what I would do, it looks like you have a walkway and stuff that's going to be going here. So you're primarily going to be using a lot of uplights and a little bit of path lights just to highlight the garden and the walkway a little bit. But where I would use those is I would have my accent lights. I would definitely have them on all four of these pillars here. By the doors, and you want to get them fairly close and have them almost shining straight up. The reason I do that is because it makes those pillars stand out, as well as you get some reflective light off the top here that also helps highlight some of the garden beds and stuff that you've got down below, as well as it kind of lights up this, so it almost makes it look like you have lights up in here without having to, and it's a very subtle light. So I like doing that. The one and thing I would say is with the lights that are going by these pillars, I would probably throw some hex baffles in them. So basically what it is just this honeycombed shaped filter that basically just fits under the lens of the glass here, so that all it does is it helps deflect the glare as you're walking in and out of the house. That light's really not shining in your eyes. So you don't need to put it on everyone, but definitely on those two there, I would do that. And if we customize a kit for you, we can throw those in there. But I would have my 3 accent lights there. And then I would probably have at least 2 of them here kind of in the middle of the windows here that shine up probably about 18 inches back of the house. And you want to get that light all the way to the top here, which it should do a nice job of covering this whole section. I would also do the same on both sides of this window here with those lights, have them shining pretty much straight up so it catches this section. And then I would have one back here on this window, and I would have one back in this area too, because if you don't, it's going to create a very dark spot in here. So I would still have those lights in there. And then with all the gardening and different stuff that you're planting out front, obviously just to round out the complete landscape with lighting, I would try and get an accent light probably on this tree, especially if it's going to be anything of any significant size. I would try and highlight that, and all it does is it just kind of extends your lighting, so it's not just the house, but also a little bit of the landscape. And then I would kind of stagger some path lights in between. So for example, you've got your accent light and your accent light highlighting the 2 pillars by the door. You have your accent light on this pillar, and then you might want to throw 2 path lights kind of in between here, so that it kind of lights up this little section, as well as some of the garden bed and different things that you've got going on there. And then same thing over here to help highlight that walkway that you're going to be putting in front of this window. You've got your accent lights kind of here and here. You may want to throw a path light in here, kind of one in the middle, and then another one over here, and just kind of keep that same theme so that you have a consistent balance of some uplighting on the pillars in the house, and then you have some downlighting down on the beds that help contour the pathway and whatnot. So, you know, in the front here, you might be looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 uplights, and then maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, maybe 6 path lights or so, and then maybe one more uplight for this guy here. And then the other thing I would try and do is I would try and, now it might be a little tricky, but it should still be able to do it, as I would try and mount a light somewhere up here as well. It's a little more work. You can always add it after the fact, but you can make your connections typically in the ground here, run your wire up the eaves trough, wherever that might be running here. I don't know if that's somewhere in here, and then using a gutter mount like this guy here, which basically fits into the gutter, screws to the side of the house, and then you can put your fixture right in here. You can mount that and catch this second story peak, so I would use another accent light up there. Again, it's always something you can do later because you can make your connections either down in the ground and then run the wire up. And if you have to make another connection up here, it can just go in the gutter. But it is something I would strongly consider to kind of round that out. So that's how I would highlight this. And then with the driveway, the only tricky thing is, and it really depends what you guys are planning on putting around the driveway. I'm always a little hesitant to put, you know, path and area lights like this around a driveway because they have a very high likelihood of eventually getting banged over or smacked, different things like that. I do like some of the new modern path lights that are kind of like this guy that kind of shoot that light a little bit further down the driveway. Most of the modern path lights out there are quite pricey, you know, ranging in that $200 to $300 range just for one light. But if you're only using a few of them, it is a good way about going about it. But a lot of times too, what I like doing on driveways like this is, you know, maybe you're trying to do some planter boxes or something, and you can actually mount a light to that planter box, or maybe you've got some flower pots or something that are going to be going along the driveway, or a bed, or something that you can get some path lights in, and if you can get them elevated a little bit, I like doing that. Another option I like doing is sometimes just with some decorative 4x4 posts and stuff, having a few of those kind of line the driveway, and then mounting something like a wall light, something like this guy to those posts. It just goes right on the post, and then it helps light that post and whatever that post might be. And the reason I like doing that is because a 4x4 post, once you put that in the ground and say you dig the hole and even you pour a little dry cement and put some water so that stays nice and sturdy, if it does get hit, well, the light's not going to get broken. It's really just the post might need some readjusting. So I like doing that as an option along driveway areas too. So there's a lot of things you guys can do there. I would definitely start with the house and then maybe just plan to add that later and see what you guys do with the driveway. But if you have any ideas that you're thinking of doing around the driveway, let me know and maybe we can come up with some more ideas. But hopefully that helps you, Matthew. Let me know if you want me to customize a kit and kind of put all those things I talked about in the front of the house there together for you. We can definitely do that, size of the transformer, all that kind of stuff. And if you have any questions, more than happy to help.
Like if you see here, we got this bed area, and this was an area that was totally isolated, that we couldn't get wire to really. We got this nice, beautiful brick walkway here, but we're out on Vancouver Island where it is an island, most of it's rock, and there's just no way we could tunnel underneath that sidewalk without going super deep and totally messing up the gardens. So what we did is, if you see behind me here, on this bush that goes up and then across the doorway here and then back down, what we did is we actually used the gutter, and we actually ran wire up the gutter, over the doorway, and down into this bed here, and we were easily able to do that. And now we didn't have to tear up the whole garden, but we can get power here and still keep all our lights on the same transformer. So sometimes you got to be a little creative with how you get wire to different areas, but there's always a way, and you'd never even know that that wire's there, because where we came back down in the bed is right behind a trellis that we ended up highlighting and featuring anyway, that you guys can't tell from the video, but I can see it's starting to look really, really good, so I'm glad we lit that up. And that wire's totally hidden, so you'd have no idea how we got that wire there. So sometimes you got to be a little creative. You don't always have to go under the sidewalk, so think of alternative ways. Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed that video presentation with some great tips and tools of how to go and properly and effectively light up your landscape. And be sure, if you want your own free consultation video, just send me an email at cal@lightingdoctor.ca with a few pictures of your property, and we'll get back to you with some really cool ideas and ways to go and effectively light your property. And be sure to watch the videos after this one for more tips on how to install landscape lighting, as well as how to light up your landscape the best way possible.